Yeah, ziyakhala South Africa. So during the by-elections in Joburg, Soweto, the Ward 24, the highly contested ward, IFP was contesting, EFF was contesting, MK Party, ANC. ANC won that ward, by the way. And then, of course, MK Party came on second, EFF came on third. EFF didn't lose any vote, MK Party didn't lose any vote. ANC is the one that lost a little bit of vote, but it still managed to retain the majority. IFP was nowhere to be seen. They had very little vote. So we can't shame any party because there was no shameful loss. It shows that all the parties that contested there have a ground. They have supporters in that community, because there was a lot of people who went out to vote, and there was a lot of votes each political party got, including the last political party to get the least vote had a lot of votes, by the way, hundreds and hundreds of votes. Hi, inkunzi zahlangana lapha. The SGs of South African political parties, MK Party, of course the SG of the ANC was not there. I'm speaking about the Mr. Wilbaro and Mr. Marshall Dlamini. They met lapha in those by-elections during the campaigning. The picture says a lot. You know when they say a picture speaks louder than the paint. I don't even know if there's something like that, but I made that up. A picture speaks louder than a paint, because the paint can be just one color, but a picture is variety of paint. Ha! Sekhuwa mona, must write that down so you can quote Marshall again. That's a punchline. Bahlanganile lapha, the SG of the MK Party and the SG of the EFF. They bumped into each other. Shivambu was there. Also, Mr. Nkululeko Dunga was there. Floyd Shivambu, of course, he was with his MK Party people, but the picture shows Floyd Shivambu alone and these EFF guys. According to me, the picture that was released doesn't show much of appreciation of Floyd Shivambu's presence from Mr. Shivambu. He wasn't really welcoming to Floyd Shivambu. He wasn't really pleased to see Floyd Shivambu, and was looking at Floyd Shivambu as if one mistake mona slicer nge-aikido yaga Andrew Tate. He was on that type of time. Of course, our Secretary General, he was all smooth, he was neutral. He didn't have the face of Shivambu. He didn't look, he was welcoming. If maybe there was a conversation that was held there, because there is no videos released for us to actually listen to what were they speaking about when they bumped into each other, or they just passed each other. We don't know. Until the videos come out, we will know. But now we can only speak based on the picture. But I'm sure if there was a conversation that was held there, the conversation was held with the SG of the ANC, the SG of the EFF, because he's a welcoming person. I don't think he would chase Floyd Shivambu out if maybe Floyd Shivambu was greeting, or maybe was saying, "Hi guys, how are you guys? Are you good? I don't think the SG would keep quiet, but we can expect, of course, Shivambu to not reciprocate that type of energy. Shivambu wouldn't care to entertain greeting Floyd Shivambu. We all know how Shivambu feels about Floyd Shivambu and Floyd Shivambu's betrayal. Mr. Nkululeko Dunga, I'm sure he was also welcoming, but we don't know what happened. I can't assure you, I don't know what was happening. But if it was me meeting Floyd Shivambu as a EFF member, I wouldn't mind greeting Floyd Shivambu. I would actually speak to him in Tonga. Like, hey, boti, mfokeni boti Floyd Shivambu. Yeah, sifamba njani. And majority of the things I don't think we would speak about politics. If maybe we were to have a conversation, I'll just ask him, about where he comes from in Limpopo, what is happening, what are the developments, his surname, how deep and how far does it go, how much land do these people occupy, what are the problems they have, where he comes from and all of that, what is the chief of where he stays, what is the king, everything. I doubt you speak more about politics. You speak more about things out here in Limpopo, in Soweto. Like, in Limpopo, it's a different world. It's like people haven't discovered, they still think, it's Limpopo. And then they wonder why artists who come from Limpopo, they make a lot of numbers without even expanding to the whole world. They just make those numbers within Limpopo. Like Tonga musicians make a lot of numbers just within having fans within Limpopo only, before even expanding to Gauteng, Joburg, KwaZulu, KwaXhosa, before even going far. These people don't know, like, this side is gumnand. So I'll speak about those things, like, how is it, Mr. Penny Penny? Like, what do you think about him, his music so far? Do you think he fell off, or do you think he still has that touch of the soulful Papa Pen Penny? Or because I think he lost it. Papa Pen Penny used to hit hard. He still is like, he's old. You can see he's just playing with the music. Back then, shy music, Papa Penny. But yeah. So, I wouldn't be hostile towards Mr. Floyd Shivambu. Of course, I wouldn't accept any invitation for me to go and join MK party from him. But I wouldn't be hostile. I wouldn't dismiss him. Like, why would you dismiss Floyd Shivambu? Why wouldn't you want to speak to Floyd Shivambu? It's like, come on. We disagree politically. We don't stand for the same political party. It's all good. But there's no need now we can't speak like, hey, Muna, don't you think maybe you should go and hit a treadmill, like me giving him advice and him giving me advice to be more like him, like, hey, Muna, eat 10 rations a day. So I wouldn't mind listening to those things, like how did you get to this weight? Like, are you working to lose the weight? Whatever. I wouldn't mind having those uncomfortable discussions with a person, because that's how I am. That's who I am. So yeah, man, these people met. I'm just so curious to know and find out actually what conversation did they have in that moment, even if it was just for 5 seconds, when they were passing each other like I want to know, like, when's Zagalini, because it doesn't look like Floyd Shivambu turning back. He was just turning back for no reason. There must be a hello guys, how are you, comrade, commanders, or whatever. And I was now Tambo turning and everyone turning. That means there was an engagement, a conversation. There was. It was not just like, but whoever has the clip, can you please release the clip? We want to know, we want to see. Nadine Tang Damana, why are you so being secretive with this clip? We know there's someone who has a clip of that interaction. Please release it. We want to know, we want to find out what was happening, because we can only find out when the CIC gets interviewed in the EFF presser. This journalist asked him, we saw the SG of the EFF meeting with Floyd Shivambu during by-elections. What was that conversation about? How did they feel? Only the CIC can answer to that question during the EFF presser, which we don't even know when it will be. But guys, we can't wait for EFF presser. Please release the video. We want to hear what was happening so we can make more content. But it is what it is. We thank you very much, guys. Thank you.